Hey, y'all, listen, it's Saturday. What is it? I guess you could say evening. Okay, and I'm glad y'all hanging out with me tonight. Listen, if y'all was here last night, woo! Ah! Woo, woo, woo. Woo, woo, woo. If you were here last night, let me say this. You know, to all the faithfuls, the day ones out there, the ones that been hanging in there with me, don't judge me. Hang out with me regardless if you like what I say or don't like what I say. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And thank you for hanging in there. Listen, if you ever notice, and I'm not trying to brag about the train over here. No, I'm not. I'm just giving some information. But if you ever notice, a lot of times we're the first to expose a certain type of concept or way of thinking. And then sometimes months down the line, everybody jumps on the bandwagon. They say XYZ, and we've been saying it for months. Now, if you got last night, and I ain't going to spend a whole lot of time on this, but if you got last night that we hate Cassie, somebody we don't even know, we need to look up the definition of DV, okay? We want Diddy to be free. When we got nieces, nephews, some of us have daughters, you have absolutely lost your mind. And so a lot of times, maybe creators, they will flow in the direction of, this is what the people want to hear me say. No. If y'all know me, I don't mind standing on the train alone. I don't ask you to hop on my train. You stay on your train, I stay on my train car, and it's all good. But what we're not going to do is just jump on the bandwagon with everybody else. We like to try, and we ain't saying we the smartest ones in the building, but we like to try to analyze, break down the thing, and figure it out and see the other side if there is a other side. Y'all have people that oh, Diddy's getting arrested tomorrow. 10 days he going to be arrested. And I told y'all that wasn't going to happen. He going to be arrested, this, that, and other. I told y'all they are having trouble connecting the dots back to Diddy. I said it was going to take time. I said that months ago, but y'all were promised that months ago he would be arrested, but it's May 18th, and he's still over there on Star Island cutting a fool. I did a video earlier. I said he dodged justice. I'm talking about in the case of him putting his hands on Cassie. People's like, oh no, he about to go down for RICO charges, this, that, and the other. Can y'all stay connected? The LA prosecutor said they can't do nothing about that 2016 situation. Never said he was not going to get justice or anything else. Never said that. People hear what they want to hear, and then they run with that concept. So I always ask y'all, catch the train, don't catch feelings. We all got different points of view. From what I know, none of us know these people. So nothing we know is fact. It's just our thought process and our opinion. And so let me say this before I get into today's topic. Let me say this about DV. Now, I know some of y'all ain't going to want to hear this, because y'all think, oh, you don't understand Stockholm Syndrome, this, that, and the other. No, I do understand. Unless you've been through it, you know, and that concept is so antiquated, right? Unless you've been through it, you can never get it. Well, you go to your doctor, pay him a whole copay to figure out about your cold, your this, your that, and the other. And the doctor didn't necessarily go through every symptom and every disease process that you have, but he leaves you with a blue prescription and you believe in it. You don't have to go bump your head against the wall 90 times to know that bumping your head against the wall is not a good thing to do. So let me say this about DB. Long time ago, when the concept was that a woman does not work when she has a family, the man goes out to work, the woman stays home, takes care of the kids, runs the household. When that said person found themselves in a DV situation, it was extremely difficult for them to get out and leave. Why? Because all of their finances was wrapped up in the man. All of it. So if they took an extra dime, if they tried to sneak money, it would be known. It was very difficult for them to leave. But here in 2024, there are a lot of females that they earn more than men. A lot of them are working outside the household. And there are a lot of resources for you to get out. So my thing over here is about education. It's about education. We can all lay down and we can sympathize and we could be like, oh my, that was bad, that was horrible. And we can shed a whole lot of tears. But after we do all of that, how do we help the person that is currently in this situation, that feels stuck, that can't get out, that don't think they're worthy because they was broken down year after year, day after day? We got to give some education. Now, if you want the education and you don't want it, that's fine. You know, what do they say? Eat the meat, chew it up, spit out the bones, whatever. Take what you need to take out of it. But if you think I'm going to sit up here and be woe is me and not try to educate, I'm not doing that. My consistent message out of my mouth, and I consistently say this for a reason. I always say there is nothing wrong with a studio apartment where you could turn the key. I don't care when you turn the key, the inside is empty. It's yours. I like designing stuff, but I don't have to have it. I could go to Walmart and Target and rock that and be cute. So you can't be in love with things, like the things, and whether they here or they going, be okay with that. It'll help you make better and healthier decisions. Don't buy a BMW, a Benz, a Range Rover if you can't afford it. Because then you're going to be stuck in certain places if you lock yourself into those things. Because you start to think, I can't leave. My car note is $1,000. I can't leave. Rent is $3,000. I can't leave because I got 7 kids, 2 kids, 5 kids, or whatever. Because you have locked yourself in to a certain lifestyle. I could drive a Honda, a Hyundai, a Benz, or a Range Rover. It don't matter to me, but whatever one I drive, I'm going to be able to make sure that I can afford it myself. Can you understand what I'm saying? A lot of these individuals, they find themselves stuck in situations because they want a certain lifestyle. Now, I'm never going to say what happened to little Ronnie was right. It was wrong. But little Ronnie was a grown man that said he lived at that place on and off, on and off, on and off. If you knew from the beginning you were getting treated badly, why did you keep going back? He said he was going back because Diddy promised him Star Island. Does that even make sense to you? He was going back expecting a different result. They call that insanity. The definition of insanity is you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, and you're expecting a different result. It don't make sense. So let me get into today's trending topics. It's called We Matter. Yeah, we matter. Who's on the docket today? Cardi B. Cardi B said her all said at this current moment, they're in a good space. She said, that's my best friend. See, I'm going to tell you why I say we matter. You say you're in love with him, that's your best friend. So to all the people out there, if your best friend is doing you dirty, listen, I ain't the smartest person in the world, but that probably isn't your best friend. You want a friend like that? Who will cheat on you, humiliate you over and over and over and over again. To the point where you get online breaking down, literally, cursing out people you don't know, but you said that's your best friend. Maybe we got to get a lesson on what does love look like. Then she also said that, she's looking for a nanny because right now her mother, her parents are helping her with her kids. She's like, I spit those kids out. Did you ever hear the concept of the village? Listen, I know grandmothers that when they don't want to babysit, they're going to let you know, not today. No. I love my grandbabies, but I'm going to the movies or I'm going over here. The grandparents will let you know when they had enough. I believe in the village. Shout out to the village that helped me raise mine. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I thank y'all. And I never want y'all to leave my side. Holler to the village. Get these nannies that's going to come in your life, tell all your business, destroy your... Listen, anyway, I'm going to move on. The Bachelorette Rachel. Now, y'all better buckle your seatbelts. We're going to talk on this Saturday. The Bachelorette Rachel. You married this man that had less than you. You took care of him. Now it's over, and he wants you to continue taking care of him. Now, listen. I think it's a mixture of different things that need to go on and happen here, right? But for the most part, I'm going to say this. You got to be real special, but I'm not going to date somebody who does not have enough, that doesn't have their own, where I got to take care of grown man. I'm not doing that. I'm not. Because then, of course, when we get divorced, you're going to be like, well, you was used to living this lifestyle. You was used to living that car. And you're going to want my money so you could continue living said lifestyle. And I'm going to say no in advance. I'm not doing it. No, I'm not. I'm not taking care of no grown man. I'm not. I pass on that. So now she wants the courts to, decide, oh, don't give them child spousal support. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't do whatever. Girl, we're going to talk about it. We matter. Know your worth, people. Know your worth. Then we're going to talk, we got to talk Diddy one more time. The 2016 situation, the LA prosecutors, they like, we saw the video, we know you're outraged, but it's not we could do. The statute of limitations ran out. It happened in 2016. Laws matter, people. It does. The laws matter. And I think that, the Diddy situation is so complicated, convoluted, messy. It's so much going on. But it tells you how when you're on the high horse, when everybody's looking up to you, that's why we're not supposed to worship people. When everybody looking up to you, you get away with everything. But they say every dog has its day. Well, Diddy's day has come. And listen, he may not be behind physical bars, but he's on the outside world behind invisible bars. Because you know what? Can't nobody stand him now. He won't get a celebrity to back him up if he tried. The pendulum was swinging his way a little bit. A lot of the men was coming in his comments. We support you. We love you, bro. Keep fighting. Fight against the lies. Then the video dropped. Boom. They backed all the way up. He's not going to be able to go nowhere. His name is mud in these streets. His reputation is in the trash. He won't be able to do a movie. What do you call it? Sing a note. Get a brand deal. And one thing about money, whether you are uber rich or you are middle class or you are poor, no matter how much money you have in the bank, if money don't keep coming in, but you got to keep taking it out, at some point it's going to bottom out. He got mansions on top of mansions on top of mansions. And besides that, he got his 7 kids and they're used to a uber rich lifestyle. We're about to see King Combs, Justin, Quincy, and them on the flight next to us. Back in coach. Matter of fact, by the time it's all said and done, they may end up on Spirit Airlines. I don't know. But they won't be on that private jet. The gig is up for him. But see, some people don't know how to lay low, shut up, mind their business, and just make things go away. He said time tells the truth. Well, it sure did. Yeah, they're going to be on Spirit Airlines. Yes, they are. Because that money going to run out. All the legal fees. It's done. His name is Mud. Mud. But listen, guys, it's Saturday. I want to bring the people on in the building. Yeah, you better start selling. But who? You know what, though, too? When you have those mega mansions like that, it's but so much of the population that can afford to buy it anyway. Your buying pool is extremely limited. Extremely limited. Who won't buy it? But I do agree he needs to put it up and try to sell it. He ain't going to be like Kim Zolciak and Corey Behrman in these streets begging for bread. It's a mess. Your damage control, the money is getting low. It's getting low. And listen, these are low because there's some brave souls that spoke up. Let me tell you, I believe there are people out there where the statute of limitations didn't run out. But I believe they're petrified. See, we are just seeing what we see. They saw that in real time for themselves with their own eyes, and they know how crazy that man can get. He always been off the chain. If back in 1999, he went in a club and just in a club full of people, you pulling out a pow and you like boop, 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 boop. That man always thought he was part of some gangster. What like Scarface or something. Then Little Ronnie said the man in the bathroom. Those are the people we know about. What about the people we don't know about? Don't worry, y'all. People like lock him up, lock him up. Oh, he's locked up. He ain't going to be able to leave Star Island. But listen, y'all know what I need in the chat. I need a what, y'all? I need a choo-choo. Hold aboard, everybody. It is Saturday, and we're doing trending topics. And let me tell you this. We matter. Okay, ladies? We matter. This is about Cardi B and Offset, Diddy, and the Bachelorette Rachel. I'm going to bring the people on in the building. Hold on now. Hold on. Let me bring the people on in. Hey, Leo.
Hey, Diva. Happy Saturday, and we matter.
Come on now. Oh, I love it. Okay. Hey, Savannah.
Hey, Diva. We have our seatbelts on.
I'm going to put the seatbelts on. Hey, Felicia, honey. And I love the name that people done gave you. Fact checker Felicia. Come on now. Hey, E.
Diva, you said that Diddy was going to be on the flight with me. Baby, I don't fly coach and I don't fly Spirit.
Oh, well, you better go on now. You said not true. Listen. I ain't mad at you. Come on, talk to the people, okay? Hey Wayne.
Hey Diva.
Hey Tay, Julius. Hey Dustin.
Hey, Diva.
Hello.
Hope everybody's.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dustin. Go ahead.
I hope everybody's having a happy Saturday. I'm very happy. I got some news. Last night, and I'm very happy about it.
Well, what was your news?
Beats of Jam is premiering on the 28th, and guess who's returning as the host, Diva?
You are.
Jamie Foxx, and Jamie Foxx is returning as the host, and I'm very happy for him. So
oh, you mean Beats Shazam? Yes, I love that show too. Well, I'm glad you supporting Jamie Foxx. Holla.
Holla for that. I can't wait. Last year was very rough for me to watch it. So since he's back, I'm gonna be watching it every night. So I can't wait for that.
Well, I'm happy. And listen, let me say this, Dustin. Jamie Foxx got a Diddy story too. Maybe one day he'll tell it to us. But in the meantime, we'll watch Beat Shazam. Okay. All right,
yes,
y'all. There we go. So y'all, let me go ahead and get into this first story. Let's talk Cardi B, right? Listen, I'm not mad at her for wanting to keep her marriage together. You know, this is an individual choice and business of many. But I'm gonna speak to the broader crowd and say that, you know what, when you whatever you accept in life, accept that that's what you're going to get. And there's this saying that goes, when somebody show you who they are, believe them. Believe them. When they show you who they are, believe them. I don't know no best friend that want to constantly hurt you over and over again. But you know what? She said that's her bestie. I'll roll with her, okay? That's her bestie. So let's go into this story a little bit here. So Cardi B said overcoming marital challenges with Offset is not even about love. She said, we're best friends. The part I love is that we really like each other, like a support system. The rap star shares of her marriage with her husband, Offset. I don't know why that's playing in the background. Okay, let me stop that. Cardi B is opening up about her complicated marriage to Offset. And a new cover story for Rolling Stone, the 31-year-old rap star spoke candidly about the ups and downs of her relationship with the former Migos rapper 32, which has been marked with infidelity, breakups, and public spats. The two have been married for nearly 7 years now. But despite claims of a split made in December and telling fans, I have been single for a minute now, Cardi shared a new update with the outlet saying that the two are all right now. The part I love is that we really like each other, like a support system. The Be Careful rapper said of what she cherishes in her marriage. We're really both each other's cheerleader. I don't really like talking to people. I'm not as social. If I want something from somebody, he'll be the one that will talk because I don't like asking. Speaking on the challenges the couple has endured, Cardi admitted, we have our own bad stuff. We're from two different worlds, she explained. Sometimes I cannot be, not that I cannot be a wife. It's just like my career takes my life. You know what I'm saying? My career comes first, then my kids come second. And then sometimes I don't realize that I'm putting so many things before my relationship. At one point, the rap star says she's not necessarily interested in growing in her relationship at the moment, as work in the couple's two kids, daughter culture and son Wave come first. I sometimes feel like I do probably put my relationship last, Cardi noted. I remember last year when we was going through a hard time, and it's like, put your album out. You're overstressing. When was the last time we went on vacation? She recalled of Offset. And it's like, I don't got time to go on vacation because this comes first. This comes first. And then my kids come second. The little things I have to take care of then comes. Recently, the couple seemed to be back on good terms. They were seen together at the Met Gala after party in New York City on May 6th and then attended a Knicks playoff game a few days prior. Rolling Stone also confirms that Offset gifted Cardi 3 diamond chains and showered her with flowers for Mother's Day. As far as what's next for their marriage, Cardi told the outlet, I'll think it through. We think it through because we do love each other. It's not even about love. The clout artist added, we're best friends. And it's like, okay, well, there was a time that I didn't have a best friend. Or I didn't have a support system. It's not even about how do I leave a partner. How do I stop talking to your best friend? How do you stop talking to your best friend? Cardi and Offset began dating in 2017, shortly after they collaborated on their song Lick from the former Gangster B Music Volume 2 mixtape. The Set It Off rapper would then propose to the Bongo Star that October at Power 99's Powerhouse concert in Philadelphia. However, the two actually tied the knot in Atlanta weeks prior on September 20th. Months later, on June 25th, 2018, Cardi confirmed their marriage news in a Notes app screenshot posted on X, formerly Twitter, captioned, "This is why I named my album Invasion of Privacy, because people will do the most to be nosy about your life. Well, F it. There are so many moments that I share with the world, and then there are moments that I want to keep for myself," she began. Getting married was one of those moments. Our relationship was so new, breaking up and making up, and we had a lot of growing up to do, but we was so in love. We didn't want to lose each other. One morning in September, we woke up and decided to get married. We found someone to marry us, and she did. Just the two of us and my cousin, the rapper continued. I said I do with no dress, no makeup, and no ring. I appreciate and love my husband so much for still wanting for me to have that special moment that every girl dreams of when he got down on one knee and put a ring on my finger, and he did that for me. Cardi, in true fashion, concluded the note with a sassy zinger writing, "Well, since you little nosy F's know, at least you can stop saying I had a baby out of wedlock." Cardi and Offset welcomed their first child together, daughter Kiara, 5.5. On July 10th, 2018. 3 years later, on September 4th, 2021, their son Wade, 2.5, was born. Oh, she's 5.5 years old. 2.5 was born. Offset is also father to two sons, Jordan 14, Cody 9, and daughter Kayla Marie 9 from previous relationships. In between that time, though, the couple had broken up, with Cardi announcing the news in a sense-deleted Instagram video on December 5th, 2018. "We got a lot of love for each other, but things just haven't been working out between us for a long time," she said. "It's nobody's fault. I guess we just grew out of love, but we are not together anymore. It might take time to get a divorce, and I'm going to always have a lot of love for him because he's my daughter's father." A month later, the two decided to work things out, and shortly after celebrated an extravagant Valentine's Day to mend the relationship. In 2020 interview with Elle, Cardi addressed the couple's tumultuous romance, saying, I do know that my relationship has a lot of drama and everything, but there's a lot of love, there's a lot of passion, there's a lot of trust, there's a big friendship. She added, "It's always us against the world." However, on September 15, 2020, Cardi filed for divorce from Offset, saying the marriage was broken and there were no prospects for reconciliations after finding out the jealousy rapper had been unfaithful yet again. People confirmed a month later, though, that the two were spotted kissing at Cardi's birthday party by November 2nd, 2020, and she called off the divorce. So these two are on and off again. Things appear to be smooth sailing from there, with the exception of cheating rumors about Cardi that surfaced in June 2023. But on December 11, 2023, Cardi stated that she and Offset have broken up again. In the Instagram live stream, the Bodak Yellow star confirmed her single status, adding, "But I have been afraid, not afraid. I just don't know how to tell the world, but I feel like today has been like a sign." So she also says she wants to start the new year fresh and open, adding, "I'm curious for a new life, for a new beginning, and yeah, I'm excited." By New Year's Eve, Cardi and Offset reunited again, though the former clarified the two had not reconciled despite having sex, explaining on a now expired Spaces live stream on X. We're not together until we work out our issue. As of today, they're still married. As the world waits for Cardi's long-awaited sophomore album to follow up her Grammy-winning Invasion of Privacy debut, Offset has been supportive of his wife recording process. In February, he told her stop being scary and drop the album. S goes crazy. Cardi been dropping promises of releasing her new album in 2024 since last summer, despite telling fans no album this year. And a now deleted X post on May 14, a rep for the rapper confirmed to Rolling Stone that there are still plans for the project to drop later this year. Oh, those two. Leo, what are your thoughts?
I'm blowing a breath too. I'm like, yeah. They are out here in this public light. They live in this social media life. If she like it, I love it. But what I can say, to those who experience, because there's two different sides of this drama, right? Mm-hmm. So it's the people that follow her and Offset, that's into their music, that's into their lifestyle, and put up with this type of cheating again and being caught out there again. Cardi out here looking stupid. It's only so much of that emotionally that you can put up with.
Yeah.
I don't know how your best friend will risk your heart like that in the public eye and damage you like that. I don't know that type of friendship. I have long life friendships, 20, 30, and even 40-year friendships. I don't know that type of friendship with the person that you're married to that will have you out here looking crazy. Because he doing whatever he want to do when he decided he wants to do it. Like I say, that's their thing. If she like it, I love it. I feel like with Cardi, she gets baited into talking about her relationship, which is a damaged relationship. Mm-hmm. And I feel like she needs to be quiet. She needs to be quiet about her relationship. Don't be out here talking about we best friends and we good now, because really, by the end of the year, they'll be separated again because he done been caught out here doing whatever for the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh time. I really want them to get me out the group chat, to stop talking about their relationship. And she's a young woman, so she hasn't, because she said she put her career first, then her kids, and then her relationship. Mm-hmm. But as a woman and as a human being, you really need to put your children first, your career second, and whatever relationship as your helpmate that you have help you blossom all these things. So mm-hmm. I don't really feel like Cardi has really deciphered who she is as a person that has acquired fame, who she is as a person that is a famous person, but that is a mother and is a wife. She has not understood and has not figured out her lane in all of this. So when I'm not here to help her figure it out, how she do it is how she do it. I'm not even going to criticize her on how she do it. But just keep me out the group chat, and she just might need to be quiet. That's all I got. I'm going to get off the line.
Thank you, Leo. Savannah, you're out.
Oh boy, I'm exhausted as well. I'm trying to figure out why is this a story and why she had the need to come out. I'm surprised I didn't know she dropped an album. I haven't heard any of her new songs. Are they hits? She's not doing much promotion. And I hardly recognize Cardi now with all the work that she's done to her body and to her face. It doesn't look like her anymore. But continuously publicly dissing your man, your best friend, your ex, whatever title he is now. It makes it look foolish. It's clownish behavior, and I don't understand why are we in the group chat? Why is this a story? What is she looking for? Sympathy or support? So I'm not never been a Cardi fan. I agree with Leo that they'll be at it again before the end of the year. We'll have another Cardi B story and Offset doing what Offset has been doing since the beginning of the relationship, which is sad because they have beautiful children and they're older now, so they know what's going on. It's not it's not when they're toddlers and they don't see. And Cardi has a very toxic mouth, as we all know. She spews a lot of negativity and hate on her social media. So I just don't know why this is a story.
Yeah. Thank you, Wayne. Before you actually go, let me just add a little bit. Let me see, did I click out of it? Okay, no, go ahead, because I think I might have clicked out of it. Go ahead and I'll try to come back to it and then I'll share later. So you're up, Wayne. Are you there? Okay, we might have lost Wayne. E, you're up.
Oh no! Oh, E, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead.
Looking at the screen. Diva.
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, I was looking right at the screen. I didn't hear you coming. Oh, but anyway, sometimes women are, people will treat you the way you allow them to treat you.
Ooh, come on now, Wayne. Talk to the people.
There's an old joke that, said you could tell a fat woman anything. Honey, I'm going to the moon. Well, bring me some crackers. Bring me some cheese back. You allow them to treat you like that.
Mm-hmm.
And if, like you say, if this person was a friend, don't get me no friends like that.
Come on now.
Because all you're doing is allowing him to treat you because you've accepted it.
Mm-hmm.
You've accepted it as a normality.
Mm.
You already said this man she said he got like 3 other kids. And then she said different women. So, he got kids, 3 different women, 2, 3 different, it's more than one woman. Now your kids. He done kind of showed you who he might be.
Mm-hmm.
He just showed you how he might be. And you just have to be desperate. I guess some women just really feel like they got to have a man and let him treat him any kind of way. Now, Grant, I admire her that she may want her marriage to stay together, and if she stays with him like Leo. If you like it, I love it for you.
Mm-hmm.
But at some point, you can't be stuck on stupid now. Come on.
Now, come on.
You just can't be stuck like that and still want somebody that's not going to treat you, and it's obviously this ain't the first time or the second time. So how long are you going to go through this? How long are you going to take your children through this? Daddy's here. He's not here tomorrow. Daddy's gone. He's coming back. Oh, Daddy's back. Oh, we're going out to dinner, blah, 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 blah. Oh, where's Daddy? Oh, Daddy don't be around for, Daddy's out with, running after somebody else's skirt. So if this is what she wants, hey, I understand. I'm happy for you. If you can handle the BS, go ahead. But don't be coming up on social media crying and stuff like that. Don't nobody care. You got more money than these people on social media. So do you think they care that you want a man that don't want you?
Oh my gosh.
And you got money? Oh no, then she needs to I don't want to find somebody that wants her, but it's obviously that Offset or whatever his name is, Outcast, Offset, whatever, that don't want her for whatever reason. You got money. When you put all that makeup on and you get all the work done to your body, you look good. But what happens when you take all that off?
Oh my goodness.
She's not the most attractive person when you take all that makeup off. I ain't saying she's ugly, but I'm saying she's not the most attractive person. So, you got to deal with that afterwards, So I don't know what the problem. I don't know how long she can, go in and out. I don't know who would want to be in and out of a relationship with their kids like that. And it's going to really take a toll on her kids. And God forbid if she have any more. And if she have any more, I'm not going to say stuck on stupid. I'm just going to say stupid.
I appreciate you, Wayne. Thank you so much. Sandy, 2 cents. Thank you for your super chat. She said, excuse me. No, you cannot tell a fat woman anything. You could tell a woman of any size with low self-esteem or a desperate need to have someone anything. Thank you so much for your super chat and your comments, Sandy, 2 cents. I appreciate you. E, you're up.
Well, here's the thing. This woman uses her platform to talk about God from time to time. I always find that interesting when devils quote scripture, because you talk about God, but you don't know him. God should be your best friend since you know him so clearly, and you preach about him when you want to talk about the Dems versus the Republicans. And if you truly valued a God, no matter which God it is in your mind, because I heard someone say you put yourself first. I mean, put your children first is what I thought I heard Leo say. You put your children first, and then yourself, and then your helpmate. Even if she were to love herself first, a part of loving yourself first is loving your identity as a mom. Even if you didn't want to be one, you have these two little beings who look like you. And if you loved yourself first, there's no way that you would love your kids second or third. And it's clear she doesn't put the kids first. She said it. He doesn't put the kids first because he's never there. He's out working. He's at the strip club. He's popping pills. And this ain't what I say. This is what he says. And so if she's chasing him around and she's popping the pills and she's getting the surgery and she's rapping and she's putting these vile images out on the internet, it's no wonder the grandmother is tired of raising these damn kids. It's no wonder. You spend some time with them and get to know them. Get to know these kids like you get to know your fans, because you spend so much time on live talking about, oh, well, stay out of my business, and me and my man, I'll let y'all know when it's okay to get back in the business. She's always on live, but never with these kids. And I don't think she should have had any children. And luckily, Offset's other baby mamas, they don't have careers. That's what child support is for. So they stay home and they raise them. But the last thing I want to say is why Cardi has been so conflicted with putting out this music. Because earlier this year, Cat Williams spoke about industry plants, right? And we have to think about what Cardi represents. We have to take a look at her image. Her entire body image, her physical, is unreal. Okay? It's unreal. It's unnatural. When we listen to her mouth, I'm hearing 5th grade education, vile, disgusting, over-sexualized. She's a gutter snipe, as Iyanla would say, straight up out the hood. She represents every negative stereotype there is in the Black community. So I understand why she chose the partner she chose, but she likes to talk out of both sides of her face. Because on one hand, she wants to get into politics. She wants to talk about Joe Biden and Donald Trump. She wants to talk about God, but then her music is anything but that. It's irresponsible. And so the reason it's taking her so long is because she's conflicted with the messages that she is getting ready to put out to young girls, because she knows her husband has already fueled degenerates across the globe. And her music is supposed to fuel the women who should chase after the degenerates. This is the only reason why you will say, well, I'm too busy to get a divorce. This is my best friend. She said in that quote that you read, I love him. I trust him. You trust him? Oh, okay. I just heard he was with Sweetie. Let Tasha K tell it. So there is a reason why she's holding on to the music and why she is afraid. When you speak about God, you don't move with fear. Okay. And I think I'll leave it at that, because I've already pretty much chopped this up with a nail and a hammer. Choo choo.
Well, choo choo. I appreciate you. Thank you, E. Felicia, you're up.
Good, happy Saturday, everybody. You know, I think I have a different. I heard a different perspective here.
Okay.
I think what Cardi is trying to tell us is that she and her husband have come to an agreement that he's going to be always going outside the marriage.
Okay.
That's what I picked up
Okay.
when she kept using the term friend.
Mm.
So maybe, before that Met Gala, they had a talk,
Mhm.
and they do love each other,
Mhm.
but he's not going to be monogamous.
Mm.
He probably thought he could be. He found out it's not good. He don't like it or whatever.
Mhm.
She wants to be monogamous. She does love him, and
Mhm.
she's not willing to give all of him up.
Mm.
And I think she's preparing us
Mhm.
for the news to come of another event in her husband's life.
Wow.
And so she's saying, we're best friends. I trust him. I this, and that. And
Mhm.
when you all hear what's coming, handle it. I really wish her the best with that.
Mhm.
I do recall all of her moments on her tweets or whatever about she gonna go around biting people and pushing people here and there. Well, that's over. That's definitely over, because now her husband has told her, now, when I pull up in a van with 15 women,
Oh my goodness.
I don't want you blowing up my phone. No, I want out of this marriage. She says, but I don't understand the why. And I think they came to an agreement that
Mm.
they're going to be friends. And he will sleep with her on occasion, but he's sleeping with anybody and everybody else he want to be with.
Oh my. Ooh.
So we'll see in short order. I'm confident.
All
I'm
right.
done.
Thank you, Felicia. I appreciate you. Julius, you're up.
I feel like when it comes to Cardi B,
Mm-hmm.
she has no self-worth.
Okay.
And I'm going to take it back to Medea.
Uh-huh.
And remember in Medea's family reunion when she said, just imagine what people will put up with just to have someone say they love them.
Woo.
She's putting up with all this foolery and everything just to have that man-child say he loves her.
Mm.
But she's not loving herself.
Mm-hmm.
So my advice to Cardi B is this. You're going to have to detach. You're going to have to disinvolve the relationship. Keep it strictly to co-parenting. But only you can make that decision.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you and him are in a good place now, what are we going to hear a month from now?
Mm-hmm.
You having a mental, psychological, emotional breakdown talking about he's putting his in all these other... I don't want to be hearing that. I don't want to be involved in the group chat. So you need to take a introspective inner look at yourself and realize this is something that is not healthy for you and it's not healthy for your daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's going to have lots and lots of self-esteem issues and abusive relationships if Cardi B doesn't smarten up.
Mm.
It's already too late for Offset because we already know what Offset is. But it's not too late yet for Cardi.
Mm. I appreciate you, Julius. Tay, you're up.
I think I can speak for everybody. The question is, when it's gonna be enough is enough? Because we all tired about your relationship, Cardi B. We all tired about this right here. This is exhausting. This is toxic right here. And you just stay with this man who don't want you. And he probably had like what 300 women in his you know what, and he probably had some children at the top two. Because I'm not staying with somebody who be cheat on me more than once right there. Two, I'll say hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more. And three, I'll file the divorce right there and focus on myself right there. And I'll take care of my kids. My kids come first, and my career comes second right there. That's all, Diva.
I appreciate you, Tate. Thank you so much. Dustin, you're up.
I agree with Tay what you just said. My if I had kids, Diva, which I don't, but if I did, my kids would come second. My kid would come, like my kids would come first. My kid would come second. I would do anything for my if I had kids, Diva, in this situation. I would do anything for my kids, and my job would come second.
I appreciate you, Dustin. Thank you so much. Katrina, you're up.
I think Cardi B should took her own advice. The advice that she gave, what's his name, Peter Guns, that he had Amia and what's the other one name, looking crazy on TV,
Mm-hmm.
and the only thing he gave them was babies. Now, the only thing Offset gave you is babies, even though he married you, but he got you looking stupid on the internet and you acting crazy on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So she should take her own advice. And what she told Peter, she should be taking that advice for herself, because I don't see no difference. I don't see no difference. Like I said, Offset, he graduated ahead of his class. He probably didn't have a lot of girlfriends probably when he was in school. So he got money. So I guess he just went off, went wild, because I don't, anyway. But yeah, she just needs to take her own advice. That's all I got.
Thank you so much, Katrina. All right, everybody, make sure you're hitting that like button as you come in the building, and we're going to go ahead and roll into the next story. The next story is about the Bachelorette. When you go on these shows and the end result is you're supposed to meet this person and marry this person, you got to know you're getting yourself into a certain situation to begin with, right? It's the pressure of, I don't even really know this person and I'm getting married. We see with the Golden Bachelor, with how long did that marriage last? I don't know. Was it even 60 or 90 days? And it's a wrap. And now they got a whole situation going on. Now her marriage lasted a little longer, this Rachel. But when she married him, she had the higher, I guess you can say in some way, shape, or form, earning potential. She ended up taking care of him. So, just like when the ladies, rightfully so, he's looking for her, now that it's over, to take care of him. So Bachelorette star Rachel Lindsay demands estranged husband Brian pay his own divorce legal bills after his desperate plea for support. So Bachelorette star Rachel Lindsay fired back at her estranged husband, Brian, divorce petition, and asked that he not be awarded fees for his legal bills in the case, despite his request. According to court documents obtained by RadarOnline.com, Lindsay asked that her ex be on the hook for any bills he racked up fighting her in court. As we previously reported, he filed for divorce on January 1st, 2024. He listed the date of separation as the day before, December 31st, 2023. In his petition, he demanded Lindsay pay him monthly spousal support. He said he only earns $1,700 per month working as a chiropractor and from his side businesses. Brian told the court, neither of us wants to continue to live together. He claimed that he needed support to be able to move out of the home they currently share in Los Angeles. He also said, neither of us wants to live together. He also added, Our current living situation is very awkward and strained. We generally do not even talk to each other and try to avoid each other. Rachel has security cameras outside our home. Only Rachel has a credentials to the security cameras, and Rachel can monitor my comings and goings. I want to move out of our family residence as soon as possible, but maintaining our standard of living is not financially feasible at this time, he added. I placed my career as a chiropractor on hold to move twice for Rachel's career. These moves were detrimental to my chiropractic business, while Rachel's income and success as a media personality skyrocketed. Lindsay slammed her ex in court documents. She claimed she intended to resolve this matter quietly without court intervention by way of global settlement, which is forthcoming. In the meantime, Brian continues to reside in Rachel's home, for which Rachel pays 90% of all expenses, her lawyer stated. In newly filed response, Lindsay did not answer whether her ex should be paid spousal support. She did not check the boxes to terminate his request for support, nor did she check the box to award him support. Instead, she wrote to be determined. Lindsay agreed with her ex that the date of separation was December 31st, 2023. However, she asked that both parties cover their own legal fees. As we previously reported, Lindsay hired Kim Kardashian's powerhouse lawyer, Laura Weiser, to represent her in this case. Whoa. This is a lot. If this was a female, many might be saying she deserves to get paid. She wasn't making any money. How are we feeling about Brian? Should Lindsay have to pay his lawyer fees, Leo?
Okay, I'm of two minds of this. I do feel like all of this was a sham he could not live with. And to pay the price for that sham is her paying his legal fees. If they don't have kids together, I feel like he needs to be compensated for even his own decision to keep this going. Because initially, from my research of this particular case, initially she had a spark with the number 2 person, and in the Bachelorette little series or whatever, and he would not commit to marrying her within the series, and the person that committed to marrying her is her husband now.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, Rachel. Yeah, the husband that she has now that's divorcing her was the one on camera committed to marrying her. But the number 2 guy that the sparks did fly with them, and you could tell they really was digging each other. He was kind of like, I'm not going to make a promise to marry you. What I want to do is us, after the cameras go down, to really get to know each other, which I thought was a reasonable thing.
Yes,
but what she wanted, what she wanted was somebody on camera that would commit to marrying her. And this man right here was the one on camera that committed to marrying her, and she chose him. So it's not like they organically came together and now he wants his legal fees paid. I think that this was a TV relationship that turns out he don't even like this girl.
Oh my God.
He went along with the get along. He got married. I don't know how she necessarily feels about him, but obviously he don't like her. And he went along with it, and now he wants his legal fees paid. And I think that's reasonable. Now, the court is depending on how long he wants, is he wanting like support? Is this going to be a year, 2 years? Because I see her on TV all the time. She is very gifted as a media person, in meaning she's well spoken. She can articulate thoughts. She looks good on camera. So, she has a career. I don't see him as a career as a celebrity chiropractor or whatever he is. I don't see that forthcoming. So, you get what you pay for. She wanted that illusion of the fraud, as Felicia liked to say. She wanted that, and she got it, and now you're gonna have to pay the price on the end of that.
Well, you gave a very good perspective. Savannah, you're up.
Well, Leo educated me because I absolutely know nothing of these two. I didn't watch the show. I'm not privy to any of this relationship, but I sit back because I've never been a fan of these reality dating shows, from Flavor of Love and all the Bachelor and Bachelorettes. I just can't see a group of adults fighting for the attention and sharing saliva with one person. And I've always been of what happened to the good old days of old fashioned love, when you didn't hear of women paying for men, and men there was chivalry and there was respect, and I just don't see any of that. It seems like she got what she paid for in this situation, if I'm going by what Leo says here. And it's a shame, because she already established. She had a very lucrative professional career, so I didn't understand what was her purpose of coming on these shows, because she's a gorgeous woman. But everybody wants to be on TV and wants to have and hold fame for 15 minutes, and it's going to cost her. If he wants his legal fees paid, then if that's what it's going to take to get rid of him, then pay him and get rid of him. She'll be back on TV on another show, because she has the look to be on TV. She has that personality, but pay him, get rid of him, send him on his way. It sounds like he needs the money.
Yep. Thank you, Savannah. I appreciate you. Felicia, you're up.
All right. So I used to watch that show as well, and I did watch that season.
Okay.
And Rachel, during that time, she was supposed to be like the it girl. She's the first brown girl to come on.
Yes,
but during her time there was a lot of controversy. And I had recalled this article, if I could read a little bit of it to your subscribers. This came out in 2017. Should Rachel Lindsay have to act like a sugar mama on The Bachelorette? So they go on to talk about her. You know the concept of the show. You go out with some people and you go on these dates and so forth and so on. So they went on to speak specifically about one date. When she announced her first one-on-one date, she announced it with her husband, Brian. Okay. And what they did was they went to this store, Breitling, which is a luxury Swiss watchmaker. Okay. And whose products begin somewhere around the $5,000 mark. Woo! And they grew up from there. And they said, well, it was a very cute date. And, it was a very, the pair tried on expensive accessories, and they made lots of moon eyes at each other. And when the two had decided to buy the items, Rachel had said, I'm getting this for you, smiling at Brian and pointing at his watch.
Oh, come on, Felicia. Come on now. Okay.
Which at the time was a Navy Timer Line watch valued at $6,500. Woo! Like many viewers at home, Brian was taken aback, asking, are you kidding me? And she says, no, I swear I'm not. We're going to take these. I'll take this one and you can have that one. And she says, I got you. And he says, thank you. And she says, you're welcome. So let's fast forward.
Come on now, you brought it
down. 2023. Not only you, Diva, but many people on the panel and those in the chat. We talk about how you start is how you finish.
Come on now. Oh my gosh.
So she was supplying and showing him that, I got you. Don't you worry about it. This is the kind of life we're going to be living if we do this together. And I also recall on that show that, when you meet the parent kind of piece, I do recall his mother being there. And at the time he was living with his mama. So he wasn't really established. And, this was going to be the beginning of a new life for him. And unfortunately, it didn't come to fruition. And so now, as Leo says, she has to compensate him, not just for the legal fees, but for where he's going to live, because you took him out of his mother's house. Oh, God. And it's going to cost her, but hopefully she'll have the kind of career that she'll bounce back and she can go on and have a very productive and rich life. I'm done.
She took him out of his mama's house. Julius, you're up. I cannot. Oh.
She chose him. She chose him. Like, I felt sorry for her initially, but she was always like a snot on the show. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, if you want the divorce to move along, pay the legal fees. So that way you could get back to your peace of mind. So pay the legal fees, cut your losses. It's not going to cost you that much anyway. Move on. You're still going to have your money. What's the big whoop? That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Julius. I appreciate you. You know what? Don't cap. We about to get to that story, but you are correct. You are correct. There were judges allegedly at these freak offs. Talk about it. Where am I at? Dustin, you're up. My screen shifted a little bit. I'll come back to you, Tay. Dustin, are you there? All right, Tay, I'm coming to you.
I say, girl, I'm just turning my head this way, Diva. I'm just mind my own business right now. That's all, Diva.
I appreciate you. Thank you, Tay. Wayne, did I come to you? My screen shifted a little bit.
No, not yet.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm kind of like with Julius. Julius. I'm like, whether she right or wrong or whatever, at some point it's like, okay, is it going to cost you more money and his fees to take it into court to try to settle this? Or would it be like, look, let's just get this over, pay what I got to pay, get out of it, and move on? Because if you go to court, whether you win or lose, you got to pay some money.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes you just got to cut your losses, and move on. You marry somebody. This is the kind of stuff when you marry people, how you do it. You make these promises, all this stuff. Well, it's gonna come back to bite you. So I think hey, cut your losses and move on. That's all. And it don't sound like he's asking for much. I mean, if he's asking for legal fees, I don't know if he's looking for any alimony or whatever.
No, he is.
But
looking for spousal support. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, spousal support. Deep, can I just ask one question? I heard it, but I didn't hear this. How long were they together?
You know what? It wasn't that long. I gotta go back and look it up. I'll look it up.
Okay, if it wasn't that long, I don't know about no spousal support.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see that. I mean, you go on the show and I just don't see where you can expect spousal support if you ain't had that. This is not a thing where the life I'm accustomed to. Okay, how are you gonna be accustomed to a life for a few months? I can see like years or something like that.
It's definitely longer than a few months, but as Felicia stated, she done took him up out of mama's house, so she gonna have to pay for that. They got married in 2019 and separated in 2023.
Okay, well, whatever. I think she should just pay what she got to pay and cut her losses and move on and do better.
Yeah, definitely do better. Definitely do better. I appreciate you. Katrina, you're up. I don't know. Okay, Katrina's not coming off of mute there. Oh,
Okay,
here
here we go.
okay, go ahead.
All right. I think it's just totally weird that you going on a show to find love from all these different men. Like
I
there's
don't
so
hear
many.
nothing.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. That you can just find go through all these different relationships and you have a certain amount of time to find the person that you're in love with. How can you fall in love with a person this quickly when you got all these other people interacting with you? Like I don't understand that part. I mean, I just don't get it. And then you kissing all these different people. You kissing all these different peoples and going on all these different dates with this different person. And how would you learn this person in that short amount of time? You really doesn't know that person in that short amount of time. And then like Leo, Felicia, everybody was saying, you married this man. So you married him. So you got to go with the consequences of what you did. You were showing off, buying jewelry and all that type of stuff, and that's what he got used to. And I understand what Wayne's saying that he shouldn't be receive spousal supports or whatsoever. But flip the script. Whatever that was a woman, and she got accustomed to what he was giving buying her. So it goes both ways. That's that catch-22 again. But like I said, I don't understand them shows. It's totally stupid. There's no possible way that you can get in a relationship that quickly when you have to go through so many different men. There's no way. But anyway, she got her prize, even though the prize was stupid. But she played the game. That's all I got, Diva.
Ooh, ooh. Thank you, Katrina. E, you're up.
You know, that phrase really grinds my gears. What if this was a woman? What if this was? It's not a woman. It's not. And you're not going to get me to do the hocus pocus and imagine this white man as a woman when he's trying to divorce a black woman. No, I'm not going to do it. And furthermore, thank you, Miss Felicia and Leo, for the history lesson. Buy a man a watch and he'll make time for another woman. That's the lesson that she needs to walk away with. They put you on this show and you are the first black woman. Black women don't need to do shows like this. Why do we need to put ourselves in a position to be courting men who live at home with their mamas? That goes against our culture and our values. So you did this, and shame on your casting director, because if you know you have a first black woman on there, how dare you bring on somebody living with his mama and then he white of all things? No, you should have your stuff together. That's number 2. Number 3, what I have a problem with is this notion of her being beautiful. She's very beautiful. But and your beauty is supposed to be your currency. So this is currency. However, you can't meet anybody that will marry you off the camera. So are you really beautiful? Do you really think so? I'm not certain, because when you go on this show, the whole premise is an instant fairy tale. I believe they filmed this in 8 or 12 weeks, 16 weeks tops. I doubt it's that long. You get with all these men, you take them on all these, quote unquote, you take them on dates. Okay. The network pays. You had a decent man who gave you a logical response. I can't tell you I'm going to marry you, but let's see what things go after the cameras go down and we can get to know one another. That logical response doesn't fit inside an instant fairy tale made for TV. You see, the one you take to go buy watches with, and you give him a watch and you tell him, I got you. That's the kiss of death. That's what the black men say to the women. I got you. She's out of order. She is out of order. And he's going to jump on the bandwagon and he's going to tell you every single thing you want to hear. And it was said earlier, I believe the quote was, you can tell a fat woman anything. And 2 Cents said, no, you can tell any woman anything. I'm going to change that. You can tell any insecure woman anything. Because if she is lacking value, lacking worth, and seeking validation outside of herself, oh, sure, you will marry me right now, and we haven't even seeing each other outside the camera. Oh, sure, this is my guy. I got you. So listen, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. But, but, this is still a white man at the end of the day. This whole world is his. He has the makings to be very successful. And the fact that he has not, it is of his own doing. Don't tell me you only make $1,700 a month and you're a chiropractor. My chiropractor bill for my last accident was $51,000. So he's doing it wrong. And he needs to get on his own 2 feet because I'm tired of hearing he doesn't have access to the cameras. What do you need access to the cameras for? You don't pay him. You don't pay for them. So what you need the access code for? Then he says the life we have become accustomed to. No, you're living with someone just like you were living with your mother. If you're not going to sue your mother for spousal support, you're not suing me for spousal support. And Rachel, if you're listening, I know a Haitian man that'll get rid of him. Choo-choo.
Well, you gotta look at it this way too. She the one that chose that man. She knew what color he was when she got with him.
Well, listen, as black women,
hold on, guys. You know what? I don't even really think it's about that. I want to lean more towards the fact that she was so desperate to get married. And I guess Felicia and Leo kind of summed it up nicely by saying that, you know, here she was, the other man wanted her, but he was being logical. He was being logical, and he was like, listen, I don't want to say I do just yet. He was telling her the truth. See, nobody, you know, what's that movie that said you don't want the truth because the truth hurts? People swear they want the truth, but they really don't. They just want to hear what they want to hear, and they don't care what they hear is a lie. So that man told her truth, like, listen, I'm not ready to say, yes, I'm going to marry you. Let's let these cameras go down, see how it goes in the real world when we're not in this bubble, and then maybe it will lead to marriage. She couldn't wait for that. So now that is costing her. It's costing her. She's stuck in a home where she's paying 90% of the bills, and the man doesn't want to be there. They don't speak to each other. Listen, for that headache, I would do whatever it is it had to do. Cut your losses and move on. Why drag this out? This is your time. This is your life. I will cut my losses and say, okay, I made a big mistake, but I learned from that mistake and I'm going to move on. Wayne, you want to say something before I move into the last story?
Yeah, just real quick, because I mean, a couple of people have said something. When I said that about, you know, thing about fat women, that was a joke that Chris Williams, I think Chris, whatever that one of those guys who did like Fat Albert jokes and stuff like that, he had said that I wasn't trying to, you know, put down any fat women.
No, I know.
You know, because somebody said in the chat, you know, and I said, if I offended anybody, I sincerely apologize. I was just kind of saying it. I was going to say pretty much what E said rather than say fat woman, a woman. But I said, I'll just say it the way the joke said, you know, but it wasn't saying, it's pretty much saying like E said, you know, any insecure women, you can probably tell them anything. I just stated for the joke. So if I offended anybody in the chat or on the panel, I do apologize.
We love you, Wayne.
No problem. We love you, Wayne. Yes. Okay. So yeah. All right. So Increase Matter, you said Diva, Alicia's Key play in Hell's Kitchen is fabulous. Please go see it. Okay, I will. And her show actually got nominated for tons of awards. Versus The Wiz got 0. But I have a friend, he loves Broadway too. I will say this, the people been showing up for Candy and The Wiz because they've been pulling in like $1 million and change per week. So they raking in the dollars, but I will go see Hell's Kitchen. I will put that on my list. All right. So let's move into this last story, right? Which is sensitive for many, but it's a good conversation to have because it gives people insight and understanding that it's not about our feelings when it comes to things. It's about the law. If the law says XYZ, then the law says XYZ. And you know, when you go or you listen to many judges, they say ignorance of the law is no excuse from the law. So if I'm doing 90 in a 15 mile per hour zone, I'm going to get the ticket. I got to pay the price. You understand? I can't be like, oh my God, I didn't see the sign. I didn't know. Sorry, you got to pay the price. If I do a crime and maybe it's my first offense, but they're like, it's a no tolerance policy, and this particular crime, the minimum starts out with 5 years. The minimum starts out with 5 years. That's why that prosecutor or was the chief of police in the Carly Russell case. He was pissed because there was but so much they can charge her with by law. Right. So what they're saying is once everybody saw this Diddy video, there was hashtag lock him up. Okay. People were calling for him to be locked up. So much so that the prosecutor office put out a statement, I want to say early this morning or late last night or something like that, saying, listen, we saw the video. We saw the video. We're outraged. Yes, it was hard to watch, but we just want y'all to know so y'all can stop calling here, writing here, putting messages on our page. If the statute of limitations have run out. So there's nothing that we can do legally to, prosecute him for said crime. And plus someone has to bring the charge, right? They can't just go out there and do it. According to what the LA prosecutor said, not Diva. Okay. So let's get into this story real quick. So why LA County DA is not prosecuting Sean Diddy Combs despite extremely disturbing Cassie Ventura abuse video. Okay. So the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office condemned Sean Diddy Combs' shocking surveillance video in which the music mogul is seen assaulting Cassie Ventura, but is unable to file charges. The Office of District Attorney George explained in a lengthy statement released via Instagram Friday why their hands are tied due to the statute of limitations. We are aware of the video that has been circulating online, allegedly depicting Sean Combs assaulting a young woman in Los Angeles, the statement stated. We find the images extremely disturbing and are difficult to watch. And that's him in that towel, holding that towel with his filthy, nasty, mean self, just stomping on her, okay? The officials explained that if Combs' vicious attack did indeed take place in 2016, as reported by CNN, who broke the story, then unfortunately they are unable to charge as the conduct would have occurred beyond the timeline where a crime of assault can be prosecuted. According to legal experts, the statute of limitations for misdemeanor assault in California is 1 year and 3 years for felony assault. Since the altercation between Ventura 37 and Combs 54 occurred 8 years ago, it has surpassed those deadlines. The DA office also pointed out in their statement that the law enforcement has yet to present a case related to the violent attack, but encourage anyone who has been a victim or witness to a crime to report it, okay? Those security people that saw that footage, that hotel people, a witness to a crime, they should have reported it, okay? People in the comment section of the post were not pleased with the decision, in spite of it being made in accordance with the law, claiming it is an act of injustice. This is how people like Diddy get away with crimes, and it's because people like him get encouraged and others feel above the law, one person wrote. Another commented, it's time we update the statute of limitations. There's no reason whatsoever that a victim should be able to report these crimes after escaping their abusers. A third suggested that the hotel where the incident occurred should be held accountable, writing, the hotel had a video and never reported it to the police or didn't call the police. Should make exceptions to the statute of limitations. She definitely deserves justice, and a hotel security should be in trouble. Although Combs has been criminally charged for assaulting Ventura, she did file a civil lawsuit against him in November 2023, accusing him of R, physical A, and other disturbing claims, like forcing her to have relations with male P's throughout their decade-long relationship. The exes who dated off and on from 2008 to 2017 quickly settled the case. However, within one day, Combs previously denied the allegations, calling Ventura's claims offensive and outrageous. The Me and You singer, for her part, explained that she decided to resolve her legal battle with the Bad Boy Records executive for an undisclosed amount in order to have some level of control over the matter. However, once the horrifying surveillance footage was released Friday, Ventura's lawyer, Douglas H. Whitdore, said in a statement to page 6, the gut-wrenching video has only further confirmed the disturbing and predatory behavior of Mr. Combs. Words cannot express the courage and fortitude that Ms. Ventura has shown in coming forward to bring this to light. Several people in Hollywood have come out to slam Combs for his egregious behavior, including his nemesis, 50 Cent, and former protege Aubrey O'Day, making a band 3, and Danny Kane. Fans took to social media to demand that effing disgusting Bad Boy for Life rapper be locked up. But Ventura's husband, Alice Fine, released a heartfelt statement that said, in part, men who hurt women aren't men, and that men who enable it and protect those aren't men. Combs said yes to address the bombshell video or backlash he has received. Whew. Leo, your thoughts about these laws and what the LA County DA wrote in their statement?
My thoughts are the law is the law. Mm-hmm. All right. So it all worked in timing. Felony assault is within 3 years. It's been 8 years. It is what it is. Right. Mm-hmm. So the likelihood of Mr. Combs, as they call him in the article, seeing justice for this crime is zero. It's zero for this crime. Everybody need to get over it. All the legions of people who knew this was going on and nobody stepped forward with a face and an accusation and footage, be it the security of the hotel. In many hotels that he done stomped people out in, they all got the footage. They all have the footage. No one is coming forward. Mm-hmm. There is, and sometimes you just got to just say what it is. There is nothing as of yet in the public sphere that says to me evidentiarily that this man will be convicted of a criminal crime. There is nothing that I can see. So the best that you can get is to destroy his brand, which is thus far is happening as we speak. Mm-hmm. He is a pariah. No one will back him to support anything. He cannot get his name licensed on anything. Sarah is in the toilet. There is nothing else. Nobody won't be looking for him to produce no album. Nobody ain't gonna be checking for him to find no producers for no album. He has treated people so deplorably that no one will back him. But then check this. Ain't nobody gonna come out and say he's such a good person, but Stevie J and maybe Slim Thug, all they say is get off the man's neck. That's all they really say. They don't really say what a great person he is.
Right.
Nobody ain't coming out saying any of these things. The law is the law. Everybody just suck it up. Nobody came forward unless people are willing to get on the record for criminal charges. Nothing is going to happen to this man until somebody is willing to speak the truth, get on record with evidence maybe they have procured for themselves. If they don't have ulterior motives for money, but just for justice, then there is nothing that's because he didn't really handle anything himself. He had others do it. Right. His hands don't have dirt on them. The video shows he's an egregious person, but that was 8 years ago. Damn near a decade. This woman is no longer with him. She's married and got 2 kids. So everybody need to suck it up. If people have not come forth, there is nothing we can do in the public but drag him by his baby hairs, and we are committed to drag him through the streets. drag him through the gutters in which he dwells. Okay, he the great Satan, and we're gonna drag him. But other than that, criminal charges are not going to happen, and I never thought that they would.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, again, we kind of all kind of spoke about this yesterday. And 50 Cent said it too. He said 50 Cent speaks on the Los Angeles District Attorney Office saying they can't charge Diddy for assaulting Cassie back in 2016. This is why they put the tape out. They knew they can't charge him with what we saw. So he said this is why they put the tape out. They knew they can't charge him with what we saw, but they knew we can't unsee what we saw. They wanted to further damage his already damaged reputation. But like I said, because the pendulum was swinging a little bit in his direction, with people starting to wonder and believe him, they said, hold on, hold tight. Let's see this. Yes, public conviction. Come on, Special K. Public conviction.
That's right. That's right.
That's what they wanted. That's what they want. They was like, we're going to get you one way or the other. So they got him in the invisible jail. Okay. He free, but he in jail. Savannah, you're up.
So I see this as a different perspective. I do believe that he will have criminal charges brought against him, because there's bigger allegations and things that the Homeland Security and FBI are looking at, such as human trafficking and the FOs that occurred on Star Island. There was a lot of, and I'm just trying to be sensitive with words here, young men and young, well, they weren't men and women, they were children at sometimes, dancers and people that he thought were disposable, were readily, as we all know, recruited and brought to the island for him and the others to do as they wanted to, and then they thought that these people were disposable. I am from Miami. I knew and then heard during that time that, and I'm not contributing anything to Diddy or the parties that were had, but there was a lot of unaliving that occurred, but in bodies found on sides of roads and stuff, but they contributed to a lot of the opioid crisis and over the ODs and things like that. But it was no secret to get invited to a Diddy party that was the hottest ticket in town. And sometimes they would buy whole VIPs, sometimes whole clubs and roads and things. And people like Diddy, Trey Songz, a lot of football players were involved in these wild parties and things like that. But I do believe that someone is leaking information. Somebody's giving sensitive information and cooperating, and I think it's somebody close to him. I don't think that he's going to get away too much longer. And I don't think we need, as the public, we need to know everything that the feds are doing or Homeland Security. I think because this is not just Miami, it goes to LA, New York. And this is decades, because we who grew up with Bad Boy, this isn't his first incident. He's been doing this to many. I think he's done this to Faith, Mary J, Little Kim. This goes all the way back. So they have a lot to. Are they going to destroy him? Absolutely. But they put that tape out so that the public could see. It's one thing to hear about it. Like I said, we all knew what was going on, but once you visually see it, 50 Cent is correct. The ultimate troll, as he is, we can't unsee what our eyes saw. And my heart goes out to, it continues to go out to Cassie, but we also forgot that he has two young girls as well, two teenage twin girls who don't have a mother to protect them. And now they see their dad in this light. And I'm pretty sure they've seen other things as well. But I thought of those little girls this morning, and how hurt and difficult it must be for them right now. So I want us to not forget that these children also exist. Their mother's not here and their dad's a monster. And we can't forget that.
Yeah. So let me just share a screen here. Stephen A. Smith, some people just talk too much. So Stephen A. Smith says video footage of Diddy allegedly assaulting Cassie in a hotel in 2016 is worse than Ray Rice punching his wife in the face in the elevator. No wonder he settled the case one day after she filed against him. First of all, abuse is abuse. He needs to stop talking. But hold on.
Bar inside the elevator. She hit her head to it, and then she laid on the floor, unconscious, in the elevator, straight up knocked out. And then after that, he didn't even pick her up, and he dragged her out of the elevator. This video, allegedly, supposedly, presumably, seemingly, whatever word's appropriate, with P. Diddy, Sean P. Diddy Combs. This is worse. We saw both videos. We saw the video from Atlantic City with Ray Rice years ago. We saw that many times over. We saw the collateral impact it had on the NFL, the world of sports, and beyond, because it heightened a level of sensitivity towards domestic violence and showed that level of awareness to such a degree that it permeates our thoughts and our minds, hearts to this day and age. In this day, ladies and gentlemen, this is worse. I'm looking at the video again. This is worse. No wonder he settled the case with Cassie Ventura one day after she had filed a suit against him. One day. No wonder you've heard about so many different allegations when his homes in Los Angeles and Miami were raided by Homeland Security. This is bad. This is so bad, it's hard to put into words. I don't know how P. Diddy recovers from this. I don't know if he can. The only way is if it's proven that that video, that's not him. That's not him. This is the only way. There's no other way. There's no other way. No wonder we haven't seen him. Ladies and gentlemen, I cover sports. Primarily, that's my day job. Remember Ray Rice?
He needs to shut up. But, this is another thing. Everybody's proving like, oh, this is why he settled the case in one day. He settled the case in one day because he thought he was going to punk her, and he never thought that she was going to file it in the first place. So when she filed it, they went into panic mode and said, okay, what's the number you want? Because if you read the paperwork and you read the stories out there, she asked for a number way before she filed it, and Diddy and his lawyer said no. I don't know what the number is, but she asked for a number way before she filed it. And so because they didn't want to give in, they wanted to play games, her and her lawyer went ahead and filed it, and then Diddy and his people was like, oh, shoot. And then she got what she wanted, or close enough to it. So it's not, oh, he been knew what he did. Oh, this is why he settled in one day. No, you big dummy. They spoke to them before she went and put that paperwork in and filed that lawsuit. So everybody who keeps with this narrative of, oh, this is why he settled in one day. No, he settled in one day because he thought like he did the whole life, how he controlled her. He was calling her bluff. He never thought they was going to file it. And when they did, they went into panic mode. Tay, you're up.
Diva, you may skip me on this one.
All right. Wayne, you're up.
You know, sometimes things like, rather than going to jail, becoming a pariah where nobody wants to be around you. Nobody wants to have nothing to do with you. That's lonely. And and I think for him, I think what they want to do is just watch him go all the way down. Okay? He's not going, like I say, he's not going to get no more promotions. Look at Chris Brown. Chris Brown still ain't recovered from Rihanna. Every time, look how many times he was supposed to be on, in some on stage, whatever. I think he's going to do the Michael Jackson thing. And they they canceled it. After they told me they're going to do it and everything. And then they canceled it because of the Rihanna thing. Okay? Can you tell me anything that Chris Brown has promoted? His name is on, Nike, anything? No. So he making money, but after all these years, they haven't forgot it. And imagine if people saw, whatever, I don't know what went down in the car, and we hit it, but imagine if that was videoed and they put it out like this, Chris Brown would even have that taken away. He recovered as far as like get back into music, but he never recovered from that incident. It's always Chris Brown, DV, Rihanna. Mm-hmm. So I think with Diddy, I just think it's a matter of, we just going to make you look like garbage and we're going to take you all the way down. And some people, if you're used to that lifestyle, if you're used to like when you walk in the room, eyes on you, when you're everything and now you're nothing, you walk in the room, people look the other way, don't want to be bothered with you. Mm-hmm. The award shows, nobody wants to sit next to you. So he's wondering why people haven't come to his aid, like his celebrity friends and stuff. Nobody wants to be associated with that. Nobody wants to come to your rescue, say, I'm standing for Diddy. Well, if you're standing for Diddy, you must be standing for DV too. That's what I think people, will look at if people came out and started supporting him. Nobody wants to be identified with that. And as of now, he has nothing to threaten nobody with. I don't think he has nothing to threaten with. And I feel like you, Diva. I don't think he's going to jail. I think the people that are coming after him with lawsuits and everything.
Hold on, Wayne. It's not that I don't think he's going to jail. What I said is, and what I'm clear on is the fact that they're having trouble. They're having trouble. And what it's going to take is, it's going to take a more recent victim to kind of speak up. Or it's going to take somebody, and here's the thing, what I'm being very clear on, there's several reasons why they're having trouble. One is because these people don't even want to remotely implicate themselves, right? It's like, how do you come to my party? You've been partying with me for years, right? So you're going to say every time you was at the party, you saw nothing, you didn't see nothing. Even there was this ex-madam that spoke. I want to say the blog is Popcorn something. She was an ex-madam or something like that. The thing she kept making sure she said out of her mouth, was, I never saw anybody underage. I supplied the girls, but I don't know what they did when they went there. So this is the thing with all of them, right? All of them want to tell these sensational stories because they like a camera and a mic. But when they tell the story, they always say all the things they're trying to get Diddy on. They always say, no, I never saw that. All the girls I saw, everybody was of age. I don't know nothing about no substances. I don't know nothing about this. I heard that. I might have seen somebody go in the room, but when they went in the room, I don't know what happened. You understand? So everybody say, oh, Diva, the RICO charges. I mean, do y'all think I'm dumb, stupid, or both? I understand what they're trying to get them on, but what I'm trying to get everybody to connect to, they're having trouble connecting the dots back to him. Because these people, they want to speak, but they don't want to speak. And the reason why they don't want to speak is because all of them is probably just as guilty by association or as sinister as Diddy. I can't imagine that you're in a room. You're seeing all of this sex going on. All of these substances are there. All of this is happening, and you never engage. Not 9 times out of 10, when you got people who are not engaging like that, they're not even at the party. There was a lot of parties. And listen, I ain't saying I'm perfect. I'm just telling you, I don't drink, right? There's a lot of parties and there's a lot of things that I did not go to because that was primarily what was going down. And I'm like, okay, well, what? Like, this ain't my gig. I'm going to go over here to the movies, or I'm going to go to Broadway, or I'm going to do this because that's what I do. You don't go to 99 parties and they're doing XYZ, and that's not what you don't want to do. You understand what I'm trying to say? So I'm not saying that it will never happen, but I'm saying they got to get the person that is going to be willing to speak up, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And they're probably never going to get anybody to say anything about some underage people being there, because even if they give them immunity, people are going to get on the side eye. You saw these young kids get violated and you didn't say nothing. That's the trouble they're having. But go ahead, Wayne, finish your thought.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I still think, because of that, I think they want more to bring him down than to put him in jail. I mean, we'll see, but I think that, they just want to get him, I mean, he's done wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he shouldn't.
Right.
But I'm just saying, I think, with his money, if he still has have money or whatever, I'm just thinking he can buy his way out. I don't know, but that just seems like he might be able to buy his way out without going, trial or being incarcerated.
Yeah, what he has on his side a little bit now too is that a lot of high level allegedly people frequent these parties also, right? And what they're running scared is, now I don't like that Candace Owens, I'm not the hugest fan of hers, but she said something I totally connected to. They went there to get a lot of evidence to destroy versus anything else too. Because he did a lot of stuff strategically, right? Here, Diva, you put the pow in your bag. So now if anything go down, it's in my bag. And I highly doubt if anything was ever registered in his name, right? Then you got like with the substances, and I said this the other day. Everybody was carrying them for him. They didn't catch him. I'm sure a lot of that candy or whatever that Brendan Paul had in his bag, I'm sure a lot of it allegedly was for Diddy, but it was on him, and he said it's mine. So what are you gonna do? They would have been lucky if they caught it on Diddy, but he's not that stupid. So my screen shifted a bit here. Who am I
at? I thought maybe me. I don't know.
Okay, go ahead. There you go. Boom, Felicia. You.
Right. So, I'm there with Tay. She go deeper, pass on me. And I just have a few comments.
Mm-hmm.
I think the release of that recording video did exactly what it was supposed to do.
Uh-huh.
And it was very effective. I found it very interesting that although the matter with Miss Ventura has been settled, it was Doug Wigdorf, her attorney, who made a comment. And I noted that. And if we recall, they are the attorneys for Jane Doe. And Diddy's camp is really trying to get that case thrown out. And I think that, they may be on the verge of having to say who she is. And they're just going to make it more and more difficult for him. Doug Wigdorf is not incompetent or unskilled. They're very successful, and they plan on winning this case. And so he was the one that made the comment, even though the matter is settled. And I'd like to support you, Diva, in what you said about Cassie's case. When that lawsuit dropped, Uncle Benny, is that his name? Mr. Combs' attorney. Listen, I am the fact checker. Okay. He came out and he said that this was a shakedown, darling. He called it a shakedown, that it had been good. It had been going back and forth for 6 months.
Come on now, Felicia. Come on now.
Back and forth for 6 months. And this was nothing but a shakedown on behalf of this plaintiff, Miss Ventura. And then the case drops on a Friday in the New York Times, not in the court, in the New York Times.
Why?
So what was the problem with that? If you're Mr. Combs, you don't want these cases filed in court. You want them to stay behind closed doors. This is why you settle, so that this is a private matter. You come to an agreement and it's not in the public sphere. So in his foolishness and ignorance, he then the next day goes to settle like this wasn't going to be on the record. And it is on the record. And it will always be on the record. And that was the error that he made. And in fact, he hasn't been talking about Uncle Benny, his lawyer, for a minute now. I think they have parted ways for a little bit.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
After all them decades.
Right, remember, because you did a piece with...
Go ahead.
Because you had done a piece with us backstage where Uncle Benny was in every photo. I don't care if he was at a funeral, he's at a concert, he was at lunch. There was Uncle Benny in the photos.
Yep. So after all these decades, now he's gone.
He's stepping aside because he sees that this may be a bigger problem to clean up than Mr. Combs is prepared to work on. And the other thing is, I do believe that whoever the third assailant is in this Jane Doe case wants this matter settled. They don't want this to have to go public. And I think they too may be putting the pressure on Mr. Combs to settle this Jane Doe matter before their name gets revealed in discovery. And other than that, I'm with Tay. We waiting for the charges. Clink, clink, get him off the streets. I'm done.
I appreciate you. And I appreciate you for bringing up those facts. Like, they was going back and forth for 6 months. So this wasn't, I'm just settling one day. This was holy crap. You went ahead and did this, and you dropped it on a Friday, and just like it did what it needed to do, because it blew up the whole weekend. And from that Friday, for like, I'm gonna say 3 weeks straight, it was nothing but Diddy. Every story was Diddy. So they did what they needed to do. And he came up off probably more money than he would have had to came up off of if he kept that thing behind closed doors. Yeah, Stephen Smith, he is a clown. Such a clown. And people love to talk without even do a little bit of research. Just a little bit. And people get mad. I'm like, no. Where's the article if you want me to do this story? Let me read some information and figure out some things. Pull something together. Be speaking from something that's just not out the side of my neck. Where am I at? Who didn't speak?
Cass and Julie, Diva.
Thank you. Julius, you're up.
He's gonna get his in time. He's a sucker. You chose to think of women and men as property. But this is something that I remember from my CCD class, if I may share it. And my teacher at the time, he said that Lucifer was human. He wasn't this creature how all the churches created him out to be. He was human. And that's why I call Diddy the devil's minion. Because the devil is human. And we're seeing it in real time. So with that being said, he will get charged. Probably not the way we would like, but it's coming. Once the procedural hurdles are cleared up, he'll be charged.
I appreciate you. Katrina, you're up.
Like everybody said, his time is coming. Everybody's talking about it. He's like I said, they pick and choose on who they want to cancel. They didn't cancel Dr. Dre and all the stuff that he's done, but with him, Puffy, you know what I'm saying? You know what he did. You know what Dr. Dre did with D. Barnes, Michelle, all those people. And like I said, they gave him an award. And we didn't see what we just seen Rihanna face. And like I said, I'm not protecting abusers, y'all. So don't go off of me in the chat. We didn't see what Chris Brown did, but we seen what Puffy did. We saw what how D. Barnes was looking and whatsoever too. So, but y'all, if you vilified Chris, but you're not vilifying these people, make that make sense. But anyway, I feel that like you said, his time is coming. Everything always comes to an end. You can only be up high for so long when you're not playing right, when you're playing dirty. So his time is coming. That's all I got, y'all.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. E, you're up.
Well, Diva, I got a lot to say.
All right,
and this is why I came on. I was with the kid a moment the last time I spoke, but now I'm back centered. Let me tell you something. When it comes to Chris Brown, when it comes to Dr. Dre, when it comes to 50 Cent, when it comes to E, baby, I want all the smoke. I line all the men up 13.2. I knock them all down like I'm bowling. Okay. I told y'all yesterday that video was a distraction and something else was moving in the background. I said that. And now here it is. Fact checking Felicia. What did she just say? The video CNN was released. She didn't say this. This is what I took from it. I think this is what she said. So don't cuss me out, Felicia. This is about Jane Doe. And her monster attorneys are playing to win. And I'm in agreement with that. This is what I'm taking from that because I kept saying, why now? What are we really trying to do here? The same strategic tactic. You're dumping all this negative news on Friday so people can go haywire on Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday it's a complete monkey show. I can't think of another word. But I got a phone call this morning from somebody who watched the live last night, and they told me that they found my comments to be offensive, unempathetic, and wanted to remind me of the phrase, there is no such thing as a perfect victim. And I'm going to tell you the same thing I told them. There's no victims on file when the black card is on file. Quid pro quo. He was her boss and she got in bed with him. And just like Rachel from The Bachelorette, Cassie wanted this made-for-TV pop career adjacent to Christina Aguilera, Pink, and Danity Kane, and the girl couldn't sing. He gave her a 10-album record deal, and the girl couldn't hit a C4 to an A5. Again, he was her boss, and she was sleeping with him, and she was getting something out of the deal. And the more I think about it, the more I really just want all the smoke, because the Dawn is not here, and I have to represent and challenge folks to think critically. It's funny how Cassie had all these videotapes and evidence and recorded phone calls, but brought none of the evidence forward until 2022. Diddy and Cassie broke up in 2018. Cassie married Alex in 2019. That video CNN just released was recorded in 2016. The statute of limitations ended in 2021. This was the same year that Cassie had her first child. In 2022, remember, Felicia just told us they were going back and forth for 6 months about this. In 2022 at the BET Awards, we talked about it here. He thanked her for the quote unquote the dark times. Okay, that was a subliminal message, which suggested they were going through mediation in the background, or at the very least a demand letter had been sent. The girl needed money. to accommodate the lifestyle to which she had become accustomed to for the 11 years they were together. We've used that word repeatedly throughout this live tonight. To the lifestyle to which they had become accustomed. This is the pattern. Cassie always went back to this man for money. Fact-checking Felicia told us yesterday. She read the court papers. Diddy and his people were holding this worthless 10-album contract over her head, and she went back to him every time like a moth to a flame. It's a money game. Cassie and her husband both worked for Diddy, and they needed the money. They were sitting on evidence this whole time until the statute ran out. You said at the beginning of this video, Diva, get you someplace within your means. Okay, don't get you an apartment that you can't afford. Don't get you a mortgage you can't afford. Don't get a car that you need to be stuck to a man in order to maintain.
You better talk, E. You better tell the people. Come on now.
Baby, you said even if it's a studio apartment, I don't care if when you turn the key, nothing that's in there is yours. Diva, gray hair diva, I agree with you 10,000%. And I need people to think critically. Things are not always what they seem.
Come on, Special K. Woo, woo, woo. But the thing is, though, y'all don't want to hear the truth. The statute of limitations runs out on this day. You had the videos from how long? Listen, this is something y'all don't want to hear. I believe money was going back and forth for a long time, and then finally they wanted a major payday. But anywho, I'll move on. Because I understand how people want to stay stuck in certain spaces and be like, oh, you're a victim shamer. The devil is a liar. And a lot of times people want to say things because they think they're going to shut you down. But you know what? I consult with who I believe in, the Almighty High, and he said, listen, keep moving in the direction I tell you to move in. Why? Because I'm going to give you your reward. A lot of people came at my neck from Friday night's video. We're unsubscribing. I mean, all right, what am I going to tell you? Thanks for the time you spent with me. All right, bye. But I'm not going to stop telling what I feel is the truth, because you know how they say diamonds are made with pressure. Some of y'all need pressure to get up out of your mess. You want me to leave you in your pool and you don't even realize that you over there stinking. No, I told you, my friends, we the suck it up buttercup crew. Girl, get up out your mess. Pick up your bed, rise up and walk. If you want fame, fame costs. Are you willing to pay that price? No, I promise you. I'm going to find a picture for you. I got to find that picture. I promise you. I promise you. My living room was empty for years. Not months, years. I had picnics on my living room floor. I used my living room as a whole little party hall and brought tables and they had a party in there. No, empty. And everybody was coming, few people came. Oh, you can go over here and buy this. You can go here and buy that. I'm good until I could get what I want in there with my own money. Not no money some man gave me or someone gave me on the side or put something in there so I could please the people. No, and I wasn't afraid to let you in my house either. Matter of fact, let me back that up. My dining room and my living room was empty for years. Years. No, I did not go to Rent Center. No, I was not embarrassed. You came in my house empty. I did not care. I don't care what nobody else think about me. That's what you got to rise up to that level right there. Because your real friends, they're not going to care either. They're going to come in here, sit on the floor with you. We all eat because I keep my house clean. Turn the key to your own spot. Don't worry about a chair. You got something to eat off of, you fine. You got something to cook with, you fine. You turn on the lights, it comes on, you fine. The minute you start overextending yourself and you need another person to support your lifestyle, that's the minute where you open up yourself to a whole lot of mess. Now, let me say this. I will, because Tasha K did a thing, but you know, I can't play Tasha K stuff, but she did a video. She been interviewing these victims for years that nobody would touch and listen to. She says she give a voice to the voiceless. See something, say something. Hold on 1 second. Let me add this in here.
In bare feet in order to be safe or protect herself.
I mean, you worked closely with him.
I did. I was his assistant between 2008 and 2009, and they were dating when I worked for him.
And what was he like, and what did you observe about them at this time?
I observed nothing that would lead me to believe, or there was no scuttlebutt about it. I never saw him speak harshly to her or be abusive toward her or anything like that. I rode in the limos with them. I went to parties with them. I guess what I would say is, even though I never saw anything that could corroborate what's in that lawsuit and what we just saw, there was not one cell in my body that was surprised.
Why not?
You know, it's going to sound a little bit weird because I don't have any facts, right? And nobody's going to call me to testify. But I would say that it's woman's intuition. I would say that I was around him a lot and I got a feeling for who he was. I didn't see anything that could get him in trouble. But I think that the power dynamic in a situation like that, especially her at the beginning of her career, so young and beautiful and talented, and she hooked herself or became involved with somebody who had so much power. And I felt that working for him. I'm sure the whole team felt that. And I mean, that's great. He's a mogul. So of course he's the big boss. But I think that you could imagine, certainly in my interactions with him, you could imagine how that would dissipate and sort of seep into every aspect of his life, and especially his relationships.
Yeah, because I mean, she was 19, I believe, and he was 37 when they first began dating.
Right. So imagine how that would be. And then he's rich. And not only is he rich, but he controls your career. And all you want in your career, right, is she's an artist. She wants to make music. She really was an artist, is an artist. And now all of a sudden she's with somebody who could make that happen for her. And it doesn't happen.
So you don't, it wasn't anything specific. You got a strange, uncomfortable feeling from him?
I mean, I think it's more to do with the way that he treated people. Again, nobody was mistreated that I saw. I didn't feel mistreated, but it was very clear to me. Again, this is intuition, right? This is what we pick up as women and humans who are smart and have been around. He just didn't see your humanity when he looked at you. It felt very obvious to me that everyone was just sort of there to be used, that he can get the most out of you. You know, for example, I went to go work for him. I'm a pretty senior person. It was sort of an odd thing. I have a fancy master's degree, whatever, who cares? But it was, you know, he wanted to get me for as cheaply as he could. And most people would just dive in and take it, right? Because you think that you're going to get something by working for him.
I mean, you know, when I watched it, what stood out to me initially after Elizabeth Wagmeister got it was she's barefoot in the beginning. And it's like she was so quickly running out of the room to get to the elevator that she didn't even put her shoes on yet.
I mean, that's terror. That's what you would do if there was a fire, right? You would just run out, grab what you could. So I can only imagine looking at that, the fear that she felt she had to get out of that room in bare feet in order to be safe or protect herself.
I mean, you worked closely with him.
I did. I was his assistant.
So you see the BS. So that's what they're getting from all the people around them, talking in goddamn circles. Yes.
She said a lot, but she said nothing at all.
That's what all of them are saying, though, right? I didn't see nothing, but I just had an intuition, but I didn't see him do anything to her. I didn't see anything that could criminally happen. They can't call me because I don't got nothing to say, but I just feel that, you know, the way he looked at me, girl, shut the hell up with your BS and your nonsense. But I'm telling y'all, that's what riddles. Come on, Special K, riddles. That's what every person they speaking to are doing. You want to know why? Because these lowlifes are still protecting themselves, right? They don't want to admit that I watched it, that I was there, that I was a part of it, and all I cared about was my check. Now she want to talk about money too. Oh, he wanted to get me for the lowest price. I don't know any employer that you come in and they say, you know what? This job we really only, I'm going to pay you $50 an hour. No, you got to negotiate that money. Shut up. Shut up. I don't know a job that doesn't do that. You got to figure out what is this job worth, what's the range, and they're going to lowball you, and you have to come back and say, no, I want XYZ. And then maybe sometimes you'll come in the middle, or maybe you got to walk away. That girl said a bunch of nothing. She's a punk.
And she said that Cassie was running down the hallway. She was in such a hurry she didn't put her shoes on. I watched that tape. I didn't see Cassie running down the hallway. I didn't see her running down the hallway one time. Did you? Did I miss it?
Child, listen, I'm you know, these people, they talking now. And did she work from him from 08 to 09?
Oh, girl.
365 days. But you had this intuition. Now, I didn't curse. I don't think I did, but I could have. But she full of it. It's the BS for me. It's the nonsense. If you want the monster off the street, then we need y'all to talk. And we need y'all to say, you know what? I did see it. I didn't say anything. I regret that I didn't say anything because I was trying to feed my kids or whatever else at the time. And now I feel bad knowing he did all of this to everybody. She was a big bubble in a whole circle of nothing. And I'm telling y'all, and I've been saying it from day one. I've been saying it from every lawsuit, from the little Ronnie and all of that. They're not going to talk because they were part of the problem. So she's sitting up there like she's so innocent, and she just had this woman's intuition. He never did anything to me, but he looked down on me and he didn't pay me. He wanted to give me for the cheapest price. Girl, shut up. And that CNN interviewer, it couldn't have been me because the girl would have walked off the stage. Because I would have called her bluff. Like, stop sitting here talking about nothing. Either you did see or you didn't see, and you only worked for this man for 365 days. Why? Because you just had it all in you. I'm sorry. Who's next? Who didn't talk?
Well, I was last.
Go ahead. Okay, the interview is Caitlin Collins. You know, you be knowing some stuff, Sebastian. Well, she's a mess. She should have grilled baby girl.
Caitlin Collins don't have chops. She's not she political reporter, but she don't have the chops for digging in that arse to be able to get the information that the people want to know. She's not that girl.
Oh, so she's a Cassie of interviewers, is what you're saying?
Yes, she is. Okay. The people like her on that particular network because she is in the political realm and she is in those rooms kind of like a fly on the wall and can get that type of information. But she don't know how to do a Don Lemon or nothing like that. She don't know how to do a Chris Cuomo. She don't know how to do that. She don't know how to dig in. She don't know how to make the people uncomfortable. She's not that girl.
Okay. Yeah, because that was just a bunch of nothing. And I can't take it because, but see, but that's what they all been doing, because Roger Bonds is backtracking. You was this man head of security for 10 years. You never saw nothing, and when you did, you stepped in and saved the day. Okay, Gene Dill, you ain't never seen nothing all these years. You got all these stories, but you really didn't see anything.
Right, Diva. So I'm a also come in with you on this because I'm really connecting with you on this. And we had this conversation backstage. Yeah. That is the reason why people don't come forward, because they are implicated as well.
Yep.
Diva, if I may, I'd like to add a little bit to this.
Okay, of course you can.
The woman, I didn't catch her name. What was her job for Mr. Combs?
She was the assistant.
Assistant what?
She said Diddy's former assistant. I don't know. Listen, she worked for the man for a year.
Yeah, because she didn't get paid. So, I remember, what's the woman, Coram? She's the assistant, the one that's named in the Little Rodney lawsuit. And remember the role that Little Rodney said the assistant played? I'm wondering if this was the same role that she played. So no, she didn't see anything because she had to be complicit to ensure that Mr. Combs was going to get his substances, that, people he employed or in his home fell in line and knew what the rules were. I'm not surprised to hear her say that. So, but I'm wondering, so if Miss Ventura or whoever else was there and you got beaten up, maybe I didn't see you getting beaten up, but didn't I see your beat up face the next day? Did I not see you crying?
I'm working with you. All right, now, come on now.
So what I didn't see the actual, like we saw a video where he's kicking her. So I didn't see her getting kicked or beaten up in the room. But when she came out, I didn't see anything, but it was my intuition. So we know she's a fraud and she's a fake. And she didn't get paid. Maybe she's the next lawsuit coming. And the other thing that I find, this is supposed to be reputable media.
Come on, seeing that, right?
They're not talking about the fact that the woman did leave. Security did come. She tried to come back in to the place where he was. They said, no, you can't come back here. So let's say that was a subscriber, myself, you, and we saw it. Oh my God, this woman is getting beaten up by this man. And we called the police. Do you really think Miss Ventura told us, thank you for calling, let me file my complaint? Folks, she didn't file a complaint. She left. So what, I'm going to go downstairs, I'm on my vacation, I'm filing a complaint for her? Really? And I will remind everyone again, her friend Kerry Morgan, who took the hangers to the head. She intervened and she got beat by both of them. So no, some people aren't going to come forward. What am I going to say? I'm going to file a report against Mr. Combs. The woman left the hotel. There's a lot going on here. So yes, I believe that woman who's an assistant was the assistant, like the quorum woman, and they're told you fall in line and you make sure everybody else falls in line. So I don't know why she was up there. Does CNN pay for interviews?
Child.
So she need money because I know she didn't get paid. She told me just now she didn't get paid. I have no empathy, none.
So Felicia, you're saying she didn't get paid, and we probably suspect she did get paid from CNN, right? But she also want to remain in the industry as an assistant, so she ain't gonna spill the beans on how many busted lips she seen Cassie have. She ain't gonna tell the truth because she really still want to be in these dangerous circles with these dangerous people who have money, clout, and influence, because she still want to be an assistant. That's what we think.
That's what I know. You know why? She said something very telling. Well, I'm a woman of older means. I'm older. So people try to undermine me. Do you remember hearing her say that?
Yeah, she said that. She said that.
Okay. So she's already tell you that she's feeling a certain way about her employability. So why would I go out there and say I saw anything? CNN must have paid her. I just don't even know why she showed up.
I'm trying to figure that out too.
But
why did she show up?
Well, she just wanted to have something to say because this is a viral story. But I disagree with the notion that people will hire her after seeing this, because the urban community are fearful of people who come out and speak up. And so the fact that she was even on camera, Offset's not going to mess with her. I don't see who was going to pick her up after that. She needs to go work for AT&T.
You know what? These people that were around him, they need to just shut up or truly speak up. Because she said a bunch of nothing. It was a riddle. And in the riddle, she made sure, which many of them do when you hear them speak, because that madam did. She made sure she said, but can't nobody come to me to ask me to testify to anything because I didn't see nothing. It was just my intuition. The madam said, I don't know what the ladies did when they went where they went. I just sent them there. They supposed to be friendly, and none of them was underage. So everybody, they know stuff, they want to talk, but they leave out the important details because they're saying they didn't really see nothing. So why are you here? We need people that saw something and say something. You didn't see anything, just go somewhere, shut up, and keep your family to your story with your family and friends at the Thanksgiving table. Let me go into this feel-good story. I appreciate y'all. I didn't even think it was going to be this long. Hold on.
Finally here tonight.
Whew. I thought that was a nice story. And he said it's more than just giving the people money. And I think that in just so many ways, shape, or form, when somebody's short of cash and you can give them the money, but they said there's a saying from the Bible that says, teach a man to fish, he will eat for life. And I'm paraphrasing it. Give him a fish and he's going to eat for that day. Right? So I'm into teaching so that you are not dependent upon me. You can go out there, make your own way, and you can eat for life and maybe pass the blessing on to someone else. I will say this, guys, this Diddy thing is loaded. And if I can give a summary of what I think that no matter how bad you want your dream, whatever your dream is, you want to be a YouTuber, you want to be a singer, you want to be a comedian, you want to be a poet, don't put all of your hope in the basket of one individual to the point where that individual can use you, abuse you, and then spit you out. Okay. That's all I can say to you. Listen, guys, thanks for spending Saturday with me. I appreciate y'all and I love y'all very much. If you didn't hit the like button coming in, hit the like button on the way out. Thanks for being here, everybody. Good night and goodbye, and I'll see y'all next time.
Do not cheat the diva or strike down. Thank you.
Thank you.